Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles, and I have some news. Before we get started, those of you who saw Mingles with Jingles on Monday probably know what's coming, but the day before New Year's Eve I made an offer on a property, and today it got accepted. And I'm kind of like this right now. Spent the whole day answering emails and telephone calls from lawyers, estate agents and mortgage advisors, and I am shitting bricks, but I'm also really excited. So, yeah, of course, then I realised, hang on, I have to work. I really do have to work, because now I've got some serious bills to pay. So, welcome to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. This is Calbo, and do not adjust your monitors. Yes, that is a Type 59 that you're looking at. Now, normally at this point in the video, featuring a Type 59, because they don't come along every day, this would be the point where I start going on about the good old days, when Tier 8 matchmaking was just 8 Type 59s on both teams, and God help the heavies. But that's not going to happen today, because, well, I think I've kicked that one to death. You're not going to hear me going on about how back in my day all of this was nothing but pixels. Suffice to say that this tank was a little bit overpowered when it was first introduced. Not least of which because everybody had one, it had protected matchmaking, and so, well, Tier 8 battles were nothing but Type 59s. It's nowhere near as overpowered as it used to be. The tank itself hasn't changed that much, but the game has moved on. When the Type 59 was introduced, it was a bit of a revolution, because normally, when a premium tank was introduced at any tier, it was better than a stock tank of the same tier and class, but not as good as fully upgraded. And the Type 59 was probably the first premium tank to be introduced at Tier 8 that was as good, if not maybe slightly better, than a same tier equivalent, regular, non-premium tank. Sadly, depending on your perspective, that appeared to set something of a precedent for wargaming, as they were basically printing money from the Type 59 sales. And it wasn't long before the idea of introducing premiums that were actually better than what you could get for free caught on, and, well, many years later, here we are. The Type 59 wasn't as good as its reputation might have you believe, however. I mean, it is a good tank, make no mistake about that. Its mobility is excellent, its armour is very good, particularly the turrets, but also the front of the hull. The only real downsides are the kind of poor penetration on the armour-piercing shells. It only gets 185mm, but, well, you know, you can just press your 2 key and achieve Tier 10 medium tank standards of armour penetration. The gun handling is pretty good, and it actually has fairly good, well, it doesn't have good gun depression at all, but it has good gun depression for a Chinese tank. It gets 7 degrees. The shell velocity is a little on the sluggish side as well, unless you're pressing the 2 key and loading the skill. The rate of fire isn't great though, which means that the overall damage per minute does kind of suffer, and some of the modules are very vulnerable, particularly the ones that really matter: the engine, the ammo rack and the fuel tanks. The other thing is the accuracy. Now, it has 0.35 accuracy, that is not bad, but 0.35 accuracy is right on the borderline of what I would consider reliable accuracy, particularly when sniping, which is not something that tanks with this kind of accuracy are really suited for. Particularly if you're using the standard ammunition with only 185mm of penetration, because at ranges in excess of 100-150 metres you just cannot accurately hit weak spots. You have to close in. Fortunately, closing in is what the Type 59 is good at. It has the mobility, it has the good frontal armour. And it's good to see that Calbo is finally doing that, although it's a shame that he had to lose 4 teammates before he finally moved up to take over on the front line. But that's where this tank is good. And he's just lost another teammate. Yeah. I did mention that 0.35 accuracy is right on the cusp, right on the borderline of what I consider reliable accuracy. You're going to see many examples of Calbo missing shots, either because the accuracy just let him down or he clutched the shot before it was fully aimed. I mean, he's been spending money like it's going out of fashion, and he hasn't actually scored a single hit yet. You need to be doing far better than this in a top tier medium like the Type 59 if you're going to stand a chance. And he finally gets his name on the scoreboard by doing a whole 29 damage, although he did manage to get it through the firing port of that bunker up ahead, so that wasn't too bad. And there goes his second kill. He has, of course, attracted the undivided attention of the enemy artillery, which is rarely a good thing, but, well, at least artillery no longer fires 1500 damage armor-piercing shells like they used to, so... Well, I realise it's always been traditional to despise artillery in World of Tanks, but I do kind of feel sorry for them in the current state of the game, because they're really just an annoyance, rather than a serious threat. Oh look, he actually hit something at range. And it's about time, because he's only got 4 surviving teammates. You'll note that he's not spotted, by the way. He does actually know what he's doing. It's good use of cover. If that guard would be so kind as to stick its big fat Russian arse out, that would be lovely. No? Takes the shot anyway. Went nowhere near the centre of aim. That 0.35 accuracy again. And sometimes every shot you fire goes exactly where you want it to. Other times, not so much. Where's the SU-152 gone? Oh, hello. That'll do. Kill number 3. 3 surviving teammates. He's going to have to start doing better than this. Artillery again. Like I said, it hasn't stopped being annoying, it's just stopped being instantly fatal. Still, definitely time to relocate. Not just because Artie's been bothering him, but also because anybody aware that there's a Type 59 behind them. There was another shot from artillery, and now he's down to 2 surviving teammates. So, yeah. The 8 remaining tanks on the enemy team are going to be looking for fresh victims, and they knew somebody was behind them. So let's not be there, let's instead move. Oh, there's potential for a kill here. Let it aim, let it aim. Oh, he's been spotted, but he's got him. Kill number 4. And again, armour to the rescue. Although that was way more damage, and he missed. From a range of 30 metres, missed the S-51. Okay. Oh, killed him with an ammo rack. That was useful. Because you don't want to have to hang around and put another shot into him. Geschützwagen Panther on the move. It's probably going to take 2... Really? Okay, it's probably going to take 3 shots to kill him. But check this out. This is great. He can't get the GW Panther, but the GW Panther's going to make sure he can get the M44. That house wasn't big enough to hide the 2 of them. So the GW Panther pushed the M44 out. Oh man, what a teammate. With teammates like that, who needs enemies? And there's some justice. Right. Still got 2 surviving teammates, and now there are only 3 tanks left on the enemy team as well. Sadly, that situation is not going to last forever, and the enemy IS has just nailed the Scorpion, which means it's just Kolber. And, oh, okay, well it is just Kolber. I was right. He's now the last surviving tank on his team, against 3 enemies, but he is in a Type 59. Although he definitely can't afford to take many more hits. I mean, there were some big hits from artillery towards the end of that encounter. So he's on around about a third of his total health, and the Type 59 doesn't have a large hit point pool to begin with. So 1 against 3, and he's fighting 2 tier 8s and a tier 7. Ideally, he's going to want to fight them one at a time, because he only has 466 health left, but, well, you'd be surprised how often the enemy team will quite happily drive up to the last tank surviving one at a time, allowing the last tank surviving to fight them one at a time, but you can't always count on it, and you need to be prepared to make that happen for yourself. Okay, good hit on the STA-1. He did of course get spotted. Falls back, and then something bizarre happens. Another good hit on the STA-1, and instead of popping out to shoot him while he was reloading, the STA-1 just kind of continues to hide. Possibly explained by the fact that he wasn't actually spotted when he hit the STA-1 the second time, so he didn't know exactly where he was getting shot from. Still, now it's 1 against 2. More importantly, he was able to fight one-on-one, and it didn't cost him any health. Now, here comes the Caliban, the other tier 8. Again, good damage. Didn't take any in return. kind of curious where that IS is, though. Because he's had plenty of time to make his way over here and turn these separate one-on-one engagements into a two-on-one. Oh, he's in the cap circle. Okay, that's good to know. Is he going to attempt to cap them? Because he was in the cap circle earlier, but he was just crossing it on the way to get another kill. Yeah, this looks far too much like a fair fight. And Colbert doesn't want to get into a fair fight, because fair fights are for suckers. So, break, disengage. Oh, I've just realised I've been mispronouncing his name. Sorry, Calbo. Yeah. So, Calbo breaks, disengage. He's trying to work his way around to get another free shot into the rear of the Caliban. Again, without taking any damage in return, if you can possibly arrange for that to happen. But it looks like... well, I don't know where the Caliban's gone. Oh, there he is. Alright. That was unfortunate. Got spotted. He knows the IS is in the cap circle, so as long as he stays on this side of the ridge, the IS won't be able to shoot at him. And he does have plenty of time. Well, actually, he doesn't have that much time, does he? I mean, there's just less than 5 minutes of the match remaining, but there's far less time than that before the IS finishes capping, so he needs to completely ignore the Caliban, which could be very dangerous, because he may be heading back this way, and try to get eyes on the IS. And from here he can fire again without being spotted. So there's the cap reset. The IS does have an alarmingly... well, not anymore. Okay, now he has a manageable amount of health. Again, it's this gun. Those were some great shots on the IS. The second one wasn't even fully aimed. But it just doesn't have reliable accuracy. There were plenty of shots earlier on that were fully aimed and went nowhere near the target. Oh, he spotted and managed to get him to dead ground on the other side of the road ridgeline here before getting hit by the Caliban. Again, unfortunate that he got spotted because now they know where he's going. But knowing where he's going and being able to do something about it are two entirely different things, because the speed, agility and manoeuvrability of... oh, he's caught him in the open. Oh dear. And again, firing through concealment. So the Caliban's going to attempt to take cover. Yep. Behind the wreck of that Japanese Super Heavy. And the IS is no longer capping. Which probably, if he has any sense, means the IS is trying to sneak around the flank. What he should be doing, because Calbo can't defend against two directions at once, and he's not going to get a shot on the Caliban there. He's firing blind. Picked a house corner that he suspected Calbo might have been hiding behind and picked the wrong one. Still no sign of the IS. Still trying to get the Caliban, but he has pixels to... wow. You see? This is what I'm talking about. Suddenly, the shot goes exactly where he wanted it to. You just can't rely on this gun. It's great at close quarters. It's an excellent brawling tank with an excellent brawling gun. But sniping, well, sometimes you get shots like that. Most of the time you don't. Relocating again. One, it keeps the Caliban guessing, and two, he's probably, like me, wondering where the hell that IS went. Caliban respotted. Yep, missed. To be fair, there's not an awful lot of Caliban sticking out behind that wreck, but, yep, missed. Third time lucky. Yep, missed. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Fourth time lucky. Nope. Can we say nope? Can we get him on the seventh shot? Hey! Fortunately, he'd run out of gold long before that, so those 7 shots didn't actually cost him that much. He's already spent all of the money he's going to spend in this battle. And oh, there's the IS, and oh shit, he's caught him, and the IS has done damage. He is now a one-shot kill. As is the IS, however. Unfortunately, he's reduced to trying to pick off weak spots at ranges in excess of 100 metres with a questionably accurate gun, and it's not working. Fortunately, the IS, who does have a very inaccurate gun, missed his second shot, so Calbo survived long enough to apply the old technique of throwing enough shit at the wall and hoping eventually that some of it was going to stick. And that's a victory for Calbo in the Type 59, and not any old victory. That's a Pools medal. That's 10 kills. Took him a while to get started, but once he got rolling, he was nigh on unstoppable. And naturally, because he is a Tier 8 premium tank, despite the prodigious expenditure on gold ammo, he still made a 57,000 credit profit. So, Calbo with 10 kills in the Type 59, the very first tank I ever uploaded a video on, nearly 12 years ago. Congratulations, well done. Everybody else, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.